Welcome back, my nocturnal wanderers. Tonight, our descent dives deeper, much deeper, into the abyss of human desperation and the terrible costs that some are willing to pay to escape it. Have you ever heard of a place where wishes come true? They say the wishes break through the boundaries of reality, but rarely come without consequence. It all began with a girl named Ilara. Her name whispered through the corridors of small-town talk, her sorrow masked under forced smiles. Ilara, you see, harbored a weight so unbearable that not even the town's tranquil facade could mask her pain. Her mother's prolonged illness, a father worn thin by debt, and the suffocating silence of lost hope became her life's backdrop. The fateful story starts when Ilara stumbled upon an aged, crumbling journal hidden deep within her grandmother's attic. The journal reeked of mildew and secrets, a forgotten artifact locked away, perhaps in fear or in folly. Inside its weathered cover was a map leading to an old boarding room known as the Wishing Room. This was no ordinary room. The journal spoke of tragic desperation penetrating its air, a place where souls sought miracles but rarely walked away whole. With this discovery, a string was pulled loose in Ilara's unraveling world. She thought, what is there to lose? That very night, beneath a sharp crescent moon, she followed the map's eerie directions. The old boarding room, the map had said, sat tucked behind a clearing, shielded by crooked willow trees that seemed to scratch at the night sky. When Ilara arrived, the building was a ruin, barely a house, but more a husk of unstable wood and crumbled brick. But when she stepped through the threshold, the air brimmed with intent. The Wishing Room was alive in ways that defied comprehension. In the center stood a worn table with a tarnished pewter dish. Carved into the walls were phrases in more languages than Ilara recognized. The most legible one read, "State thy wish, pay thy price." Simple, terrible. The chill of realization had sunk down her spine, yet desperation is a fierce silencer of caution. Her voice thick with unspoken longing, she finally uttered aloud, "Save my mother." A tremor coursed through the room, just as the journal had warned. The price came swift and unseen, a momentary blinding flash, and then nothing. No booming voices, no supernatural theatrics, just quiet, motionless air that seemed heavier now. Ilara returned home, unscathed, at least on the outside. It wasn't until morning that she found her mother awake, her illness miraculously lifted as though it had never been. Joy swept through their home like sunlight through a broken window. But as the hours turned to days, darker shadows began to creep into Ilara's happiness. It started small. The family's pet cat vanished without a trace. A neighbor she had once lent a book to died inexplicably in his sleep. Coincidence? Perhaps. Until one evening, her younger brother, sweet and lively Bailey, complained of an ache in his chest. That ache turned fatal within hours. The Wishing Room had stolen him. The journal Ilara had unearthed contained a chilling addendum she had ignored. All blessings come stolen from another. Her miracle, her one moment of selfish salvation, was built from the suffering of others. Unable to sleep, guilt-ridden and fragmented, she returned to the room, demanding another miracle, a reversal of her wish. "Take the blessing back," she begged through sobs. Her voice cracked on the word please, as though splintering under the impossible weight of grief. The walls of the Wishing Room trembled momentarily. This time the price was evident. A pulsating ache began in Ilara's chest, a mimicry of what had killed her brother. Yet even then, despair was not the worst cruelty this wretched place could offer. She thought it would suffice. She thought penance would grant her freedom. But she was mistaken. By attempting to undo her wish, Ilara triggered consequences bigger than reversal. Her existence itself became fragile. Day by day, piece by piece, she noticed memories fading, not just hers, but others memories of her. Gradually, it was as though she had begun to slip from existence entirely. Nobody, even her parents, could remember who she had been. Alara, in anguish, carved her name into the wooden walls of her home to remind herself of her own truth. But when she looked at those carvings the next morning, her name had vanished. Her reflection, too, grew faint. She had walked too far into the abyss, and now it seemed intent to swallow her completely. Soon afterward, there was no Alara, no proof of her ever existing, not a drawing or a photograph, not even a whisper of her name in the wind. Her journals decayed as fast as she wrote them. Her footprints vanished seconds after she walked. It was as though the wishing room had exacted its ultimate revenge, to rob her of her very being. And so, my enthralled listeners, the question posed by this tale of dread isn't simple. Would you, despite the unthinkable risk, enter the wishing room and gamble away pieces of your soul for a fleeting moment of salvation? Or is it better to live within the confines of your cage, no matter the weight? The wishing room's door stands open still, somewhere beyond the veil of shadowed trees in your worst imagination. Just don't forget, the price of your wishes may be paid in currency far, far greater than you ever imagined. Until next time, when the darkness calls us together again, choose your desires carefully, for some voices echo far beyond redemption.